My name is Richard Calame. Started barbering many years ago, over 30 years ago. What happened was me and my brothers started together. My mum bought some clippers. When my mum bought us clippers, we practiced on each other. We built up more of a business, as I would say, but weren't thinking of it as a business. It was just a hobby. Got more friends in. But because we've had many friends in the community and we grew up with a load of friends being at the same school, different schools, we established ourselves having a little small business. Pretty rough,
Yeah, I was on a bit.
but we didn't really know that we were generating at the time. We did little small business cards and stuff like that, passing it out to my friends, and then we got recommended by another friend and get recommended by another friend, and they were just coming in, and then we had a small room in my mum's house. Having that room in my mum's house, we took over. We used to take the mirrors off the walls and then use them as our mirrors on my mum's coffee table. This is where we all started. This is the room where I first done my first haircuts with my brother. We used to push this table across there. We used to have two mirrors on this side here, and me and my brother used to be cutting hair from one side on this side, and then we moved one on one. We used to take the mirrors off the wall and then put them onto the tables. My mum used to be very, very angry at us sometimes because we used to leave hair everywhere, but helped us a lot for where I am today.
I didn't like the idea of them borrowing their friends' hair cutting stuff to do the barbering, so I gave them the money and they went and bought their own chairs and things to do it, and I gave them the dining room to do it in. So everybody started coming and they started it up there. It was very good. Could be a bit noisy at times, but it was very good.
My side was like, growing up was on a good thing. We used to go out, do hip hop dancing at the PSV, and then from there the community changed. A little bit of like gangs started coming. A lot of my friends around them times were affiliated with the gang members, but we never ever had a gang problem coming to my house or whatever. I did, I lost a lot of good friends through that gang violence, but it weren't sufficient to me as I helped or was talking to friends what were in that gang culture.
Nobody misbehaved, and it doesn't matter what was happening outside. They never bring it into the house. They were very respectful of my house because they know if anything happens and I'd come in and they were misbehaving, I'd throw them out.
Growing up in Hume on my side was like, it was like a family really, because I had cousins who lived in my side and I lived in Hume. So we used to just like, when we were younger, we used to just bounce from back and forth. I remember like growing up, 80s, when the riots, it was more of a community, and the first riots what started in my side, I was too young to be a part of the riots. And then what I remember is just the flames and the buildings burning, and my parents were saying, well, there's a riots going on, and then they see the news and stuff like that, and then we've seen the devastation. When I went down to my cousin's house who lived across the road from where the riot started, he was telling me all the information of how the riot started and what was going on, and we was only around about 9, 10 at them times when they were going on, but it was still in a nice place, and we always worked together as a community to help each other out.
Drop it ancient future, the man them never give no Grammy to the king. Can't feel no way though, music a play though, fry fish, Bobby to me thing. Man celebrate life, happy me living. Man elevate hype, gravity me scene. Man set the pace like, graceful and fight for the first place prize. No bill for the work, man, happy do the drill. Happy technique, right, happy know the skill.
I'm Sammy, I'm from London. Been living in London all my life. Been up here in Manchester for like 6, 7 years. The way I got into R&B was, I started off as a barber and then started learning locally in Moss Side and Rusholme. Started working in some shops over there. Didn't really get along with the shops over there, and you know, whether it was the staff problem or the certain quality of haircuts which they do was not up to par of what I thought I could give. I remember working in Rusholme, then I took a day off and went to this hair show which was called Pro Hair Live, and that's how I met Richard. And you know, out of everyone, me and Rich really clicked well. You know, things that we were talking about, you know, we could relate to the same thing that we were saying. He could kind of relate to me as well. I had only been a barber for like 4 or 5 months when I was speaking to him then. And so yeah, we got along really well. Started speaking a lot about barbering and stuff like that. And then didn't see him for a few months after that. Just didn't really keep in contact or anything. And then what it is, I enrolled into a course in college, and then went to this barbering course, and then all of a sudden I see Rich walking through the doors. I'm like, all right, so you're a tutor here.
Through that time, I had a good friend called Judith Hughes who asked me to come teach voluntary at the corner college, going into the direction of where I want it, and I'm still using the corner. And what I'm doing is just using the machine, so it just through that time teaching at college, I've been teaching for like 15 years. The first time I was just voluntary, helping out a lady called Lorraine, helping how to fade, do all the tricks of doing European hair. Well, she taught me the most about the European hair and the European styles. Not knowing how to do European hair was a factor, but I picked it up very, very quickly because it was just knowing the hair types. Picking up, teaching myself how to do the hair types was one of the hardest challenges I did. And then I was teaching at college at the same time of self-teaching myself how to do this. And then I've just blossomed and grown into teaching at Trafford College, and then I've branched out and done many, many more colleges. But within that time, that's going over a span of 15 to 14 years.
Richard has mentored me by showing me different skills and techniques in different Afro styles. So he's made my approach to Afro hair a lot easier. I find cutting different Afro styles a lot easier now. Any style really. So he's just made me a better, well-rounded barber in a sense. I'd like to think of myself as well-rounded, where I can do anything, any kind of haircut, any texture. R&B cuts for Rich stands for Richard and Byron, so that's Richard and his brother Byron. R&B means a lot of things. To me, it means real barbers. You know, it can mean a lot of things. But I think the main thing what it means is community. And this is really a community-orientated barbershop in a sense. It's a place where everyone says hello to each other. It's a place where it doesn't matter whether you're a millionaire or you're broke. You know, when you walk through our doors, you will get treated the same as anyone else. No one's better than anyone else here. So what it means to me, R&B is community, really and truly community and real barbering. You know, we're here to do a nice job, but much more than that. Not only give a nice haircut, but have a nice chat with the clients and the customers and make them feel happy. And sometimes we get clients coming into the shop, they don't even want a haircut, they just want to come in and have a chat and, you know, tell us their problems.
For many years, doing barbering, I didn't really think about the community, what I actually made up. Within that community, people were growing around me and growing up, and we was all growing up together. So when we was growing up together, there's different aspects of the work started to entail of the community, what was building, young gentlemen growing up, having their kids, bringing their kids, people from different backgrounds come in, youth workers and youth leaders coming in, what I already knew, like one of my friends named Jeff Thompson, he was from one of the biggest guys from the community, what brought the powerhouse and stuff. And then from that, it just like the business snowballed into people actually coming within the community, talking about their problems, what they've got, day-to-day problems, and just growth within what they do, with work, mental problems, just loads of different things within the problems of life, really, and help giving them different insights from different people, because when people come and sit down and we're all together, as like you get different opinions from different people. So the more the different people are around, then it helps people grow. Getting some knowledge of different people will help them grow up, and getting different opinions. So that's where the business has gone, because when you come into the door of R&B Cuts, is that we're all a community and we help each other and give suggestions as well of what's happening, because everyone's from a different background. You've got doctors, you've got lawyers, you've got people that work in the youth service, you've got nurses, you've got youth leaders, and you've just got day-to-day people that work day-to-day jobs. My plans for the future in barbering is to try and franchise and open many different shops, but within the same sort of like background and the same community, where the barbers are still doing the same thing, working on a community, helping each other to grow as a community. Trying to be one of the top barbers like MK, A-Star, just many different barbers. As I would say, I'm me, so I'd rather just try and be me. I'm not trying to follow anybody or anything. So that's what I would try, and best thing to do is just be me and develop me into a bigger audience, because now barbering has excelled into a big way now. So that's what I would like to do.
Something in your eyes, oh, but you keep trying to hide the trace.